What's up, guys? This is Corey, also known as QC Rideshare, just hitting you with another one. So I'm still working on my second video in my series, The New Face of Rideshare. So please give me some time. Got some editing and some things I want to follow up on to make that one a quality video for you guys. But in the meantime, I thought I'd hit you up with a new video. Just want to talk about something that I personally have been getting questions about, and it's something that I think is a good topic to kind of cover, because whenever you are doing rideshare, anytime you are doing gig economy work, the question's always, who can I trust? And it's not so much can you trust the companies, because I think that no matter what, you need to have a healthy skepticism. And when I say that, I mean not so much that is company A, if they're telling me they're going to pay me $10, are they going to pay me $10? I think that in all, there's no real benefit for a company to put themselves in a situation where they can be found out to be taking people's money. However, I think that it is immensely important to understand how companies make money. Do you believe in that company's business plan or the way that they see how they identify how they're going to grow? And also, is it something in which you could see will be here 3, 5, how many years down the road? Because that's going to let you know how the technology is going to move. It's going to let you know how the company is positioned to grow or become a better, more stable entity. So I want to give a few examples, because I know kind of talking in generalities, it makes it hard. So I'm going to cover a few different examples from different industries. So let's just start with Uber. So asking yourself the question, can you see Uber being around 5 or 10 years from now? I think most of us can pretty strongly say, yeah, I can see Uber being a major factor in how people commute in the next 5 or 10 years. And with that, you take it to the next step. Well, how do they view their technology? So Uber has always been a very strong technology company, in the sense of they understand that they're an app-based company. So they're constantly updating their app, constantly updating their technology. Now, some features may come to other platforms first, and then they may adopt them. But I think all in all, you have to say that the app in its ability to grow or be better has been progressing. And so for me, I like what Uber has in place, because I think that they are a company that has proven themselves that they're going to be around. They're invested. They've had a number, and you can almost not count as many missteps, but it looks like they're taking some positive steps now. So they're a company where you can say, you know, I can really trust this platform. Let's kind of switch gears and look at a company like Instacart. In my relationship with Instacart, and I'll be very clear, I don't have a extensive relationship with Instacart, just because for what I do, I mostly use Shipt. But I do know from talking to other people about the ins and outs of Instacart, but also talking about reading a number of articles of some of the missteps and things that they've done, how that can affect their business. So do I see grocery delivery services being around 5 years later? And this one was really hard, because in one sense, I will wholeheartedly say yes, because it addresses a pain point that people don't want to do. But with big companies like Amazon and Google and other companies jumping into this line of grocery delivery, it makes me hard to think that there won't be 1 or 2 big players in this market. especially with Amazon purchasing Whole Foods, with Uber and Google partnering up with Walmart. It seems like the quote unquote big dogs are starting to come into the to that market, and that they're taking a lot of the mind share. Now, one thing that Instacart has in their benefit is that Instacart, they sign contracts with the grocery stores to be their provider. And some of the, depending on how hard, how ironclad those contracts are, it might be harder or easy for those companies to lose those contracts or what the case may be. So I think I'm optimistic that they'll be around in 5 years, but I don't think they're going to be around in 5 years in the same way that we know them. Now, as far as payments, now I remember some time ago when Instacart tried to get rid of personal tipping, and they tried to do what they call, I think, zone tipping, where if a customer were to tip, it will go into a pool for all the drivers in that zone, and then that money will be distributed. And I know a number of Instacart shoppers protested and stopped using the app, and then Instacart made some changes so that now they have a section for zone tipping, and then far underneath they have one for individual tipping. That right there is a concern to me, because anytime a company starts messing with money that a customer has earmarked for the shopper or the delivery driver, that concerns me, because it makes me think that financially they're not on on solid ground. Now, I know Instacart has had a number of rounds of venture capital that's been poured into it, and so it seems like they are getting the money they need to be operational, but it also seems like they don't have a positive business plan. And just as a reference, food delivery services financially lose money. Like, all the companies out there that do that service, they lose money. And just to kind of tell you, with Uber only makes a positive cash flow per ride in the United States. And as you know, Uber is in a number of different countries. Each ride they give in those other countries, they're actually losing money. And that's where you see venture capital kind of propping those companies up. Instacart, I think they're going to have their challenges, because they're right in the eyesight of Amazon, because Amazon has purchased Whole Foods. One of Instacart's big contracts was Whole Foods, so that's going to be interesting. Now, I know the CEO of Instacart mentioned that that they just signed that 5-year deal with Whole Foods, and so they feel confident that's going to be executed. But Amazon has so much money that they can probably buy that out and not really blink an eye. Or it may be something that down the road they look at, just one of these bigger companies just look to swallow Instacart or something like that. Now, on the reverse side, let's look at, so those two examples. And then also Shipt. Shipt is a company that I work with. They're also in the same market. So a lot of the stuff that I said about them is going to apply, that I said about Instacart is going to apply to Shipt. Now, Shipt, they have a little bit different. I know they have partners, but I think Shipt has an opportunity where they can skim a company's website. I don't believe they do that. But and this is just me talking. This is not Shipt talking. I don't have any insight. But I just think that they have the ability that if they ever wanted to, that they could just say, hey, we offer this grocery store, and just skim that grocery store's website and kind of use the function in the same way. I think that in order to make that something that you can positively do, you would really need to disclose that to the customer. And I think Shipt is doing some good things, because they're starting to partner up with some with other companies. So they just now, I know they're doing some trials with Costco and other companies. And so that should be interesting. So I would like to see how that evolves. But I think the best out for most of these companies, like a Shipt, like an Instacart, as much as I love doing both of those companies, is they're probably going to be a piece of something bigger. and only time will tell. And we'll just kind of see. I could be completely wrong. Who knows? Um, and then food delivery services. So like your Uber Eats is. I'm going to leave that alone because that's kind of part of Uber. And just as a statement, most of the feelings that I have about Uber, you can kind of translate over to Lyft. So I don't want to kind of rehash some of that. But like food delivery services, like your DoorDashes, Postmates, you're going to see something interesting with these companies. And I don't think that they're going to be around 5-10 years from now. And the reason why is because for the last probably about 3 years strong, well, let's go back about 5 years. 5 years ago, venture capital was being poured into companies like Grubhub, DoorDash, Postmates, companies that were doing food delivery services. It was being thrown at them. They were getting ridiculous valuations. And recently, I think anytime you have venture capitalists and angel investors, there comes a time where they say, okay, we need our money. We need to we need to take an accounting so that we can get paid back for all this money that we've put into these companies. And the problem is when they open the books, they see that these companies are still losing money. So some of these companies have been around for a long time. Some of these companies have been around for a long time and they're still losing money. So, and there's really not a good out. There's not a profitable way for some of these companies to grow their business because the margins are so small. And so I think what you're going to end up seeing is companies like Uber Eats are probably going to win because basically it's a part of something bigger. And so they can kind of manage costs. And they already have the drivers. I haven't got a chance to look at Grubhub stock recently, but these companies are struggling and they're not making money and the valuations are going down. And so you're going to see some of them, you might start seeing some of them kind of merging up with each other. And then you're also going to see some just kind of go away. So I wouldn't put a huge investment of my time and energy in companies like that just because I don't see them being something that I see for the future. Those kind of my thoughts off my head, just kind of thinking about some of the companies and how I feel about them and whether I can trust them. And so I will just kind of as a recap, my trust factor for companies like a Uber and Lyft, I see them around 5-10 years from now. So I have a very high trust factor with them. Specialty delivery, like your grocery delivery services, things like that, they're kind of in the middle. I think that they will be around, but I think that they'll be a part of something else. And I think that depending on how they pivot, they may be viable companies that will still be around, still doing various, having various options. The companies that I have a very low trust factor in is food delivery services. I just don't see 5-10 years from now with them losing valuation, losing money, that they're going to still be something that people are going to be putting heavy money in. And I think that bigger companies are going to be able to offer, bigger companies like your Uber and your Lyfts can offer the same service. They can make those same partnerships. They have the drivers are already on the road, and they can probably offer the same things for cheaper. So that's just my thoughts. Again, I'm going to be hitting the editing button on the second part of the new face of rideshare. Thank you for all the love that I got in regards to the interview with April. She appreciated it so much. I'm sorry, getting a phone call. She appreciated it so much. I passed on all the compliments, and thank you so much for being patient with my channel. Until the next one, peace.